Hey guys, my name is Marta, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Deborah Levy's August Blue, which is Deborah Levy's newest release, which came out a few months or weeks ago, I don't exactly know, but it was released very recently. This is a very short novel, which is less than 250 pages long, and that reflects on life after one's peak in their career. In this novel we follow our main character, a famous pianist who has just given her last performance and it wasn't really a success. He kind of failed and she's overall disappointed with that being her last time on stage. The book begins as our main character, this pianist, is going to buy these two tiny horse figurines in a souvenir shop, I think it is, in Greece. But as she reaches there, she sees how this other woman takes them instead of her. From that very moment, our main character becomes obsessed with this woman whose face she cannot really see but can expect is very similar to her own. This woman becomes, in a way, her double and her obsession and the person that will sparkle her reflections upon her own self, her own past, her own future, and her own present. This is a book that is overall very reflective. The writing style is almost poetic and it's pretty much about our main character's thoughts and feelings and realizations as she comes in touch with who she is now. The book is also a pursuit of one's life after her peak has passed. Our main character is in the book trying to find a place in the world for her. She is tutoring these teenagers who are aspiring musicians, and in a way she also learns from them as she reflects on how different they are in comparison of how she was when she first became a pianist. On the other hand, she is also on the way to lose her tutor and her father almost. She was sort of adopted by this man who was her piano tutor, and she doesn't know her birth parents, and even though this man has her birth certificate, she has never looked at it, which makes the book also a reflection upon how one's self is shaped by one's blood in comparison with the idea that is one's surroundings what shape a person. This is also then a book about losing people. As our main character is now older, she is not only losing her strengths, as we can see in the fact and idea that she is past her peak in her career, but also losing her nearest friends. They are growing old, they are having some health problems, and she sort of has to deal with that as well. This is a book that, as you can probably guess, because of how meditative and reflective it is not the easiest to read. It's a book that has a lot of time jumps. It jumps without you ever noticing, sometimes from past to present, and it is also one that jumps a lot from a scene to our author's mind. It's also a book that doesn't really show where a character is speaking, so you don't really have the little commas nor anything that marks when a person is speaking, which can complicate the reading experience when you are used to reading just normal fiction where a person's speech is marked. This is, however, overall a very interesting exploration of the I, of one's identity, and of one's possibilities. Is a book that really thinks a lot about aging and growing old and having to accept that. Is also a book about accepting and loving yourself for who you are, and it's overall a book about a book and a meditation upon all the things that cannot be and won't be in any way. It's a book that is also and that reads like a loop. It's a book that is constantly going back to certain scenes and ideas. For instance, these tiny horses that this woman buys and the different encounters our main character has with this woman, and is also a book about traveling and discovering new places as one discovers oneself. It's a book that I personally think, and now I'm coming more into my personal thoughts on it, is perfect for this summer. It's a very meditative read that really makes you travel both internally and externally, as our main character goes from London to Greece to Paris to Italy, maybe at some point. I don't even remember all the places she goes to in the novel, but it's overall, as I have said, a very intriguing read that is going to make you think a lot about yourself, your life, and your inner self, as well as your family, your friendships, and all the things you have at present moment, and all those things you cannot have but wish you had. And finally, this is a book that I think can resonate with lots of people. I know many people, such as I, like to read books that reflect upon one's person and upon what makes oneself. This is a book that really touches upon that topic. This is a book that, despite it being fiction, almost reads like a memoir, and I think that is one of the most beautiful things about the novel, because it doesn't only read like a memoir. Now that I think about it, it also reads like poetry. It is a very poetic read, full of very vibrant and summery imagery, but that at the same time has the melancholia and sadness of a sad poem. I think that is all I had to say about August Blue. It's a book that is pretty difficult to talk about because it's very abstract, as you can tell, but it's nonetheless a very interesting read, a book that I highly recommend you read, and of course a book worth checking out. However, I must admit that this book didn't reach the 4 stars rating for me. I gave it 3.5 stars because I think that despite its very interesting topics and ideas, it's a book that I could have enjoyed more if I were older. It's a book that, because of what it talks about, I think it's perfect for people who are older. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a book that I was reading and thinking I would have enjoyed way more if I weren't 22. So yeah, August Blue, I highly recommend it. If you read it, comment down below what were your thoughts of it. Comment down below if you read any other Deborah Levy. I'm aware she has a trilogy of memoirs, which makes her a memoirist, if that is even a word in English, which makes a lot of sense when you think about how much the novel succeeded at being a sort of fake memoir. But yeah, comment down below if you read this, comment down below if you read that trilogy, and tell me if you think it's worth the read, because I do want to read it. I have it on my Goodreads TBR, I've had it for a long time and it has always intrigued me. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. Give this video a like if you liked it, and I hope your day is gone amazing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!